Hi, welcome back to the Paranormal, Psychic, and Metaphysical Festival at the Rock Island YMCA. My name is Candy, and I'm with Riverside, Iowa Paranormal, and I'm here with Alan Cornelison, the author of Ghost Lore and Legends of the Stagecoach Inn. Chris Sutton, a fellow paranormal investigator, states, and I quote, "This book is a must-read for all investigators, both new to the field as well as those who have investigated for years. When people read the book, it's not only a great story, but a warning that even the most experienced can fall into a very dark place." Thank you for joining us today, Alan.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Getting along.
Getting along? That's good. So I understand it was your 3-year-old daughter that got you into the paranormal 38 years ago.
Yeah, it was. It was out of the clear blue. We had just lost her mother in a fire about 6 months to 8 months before.
I'm so sorry.
And I'd put her to bed one night. Everything we owned was donated. It was through the Red Cross. We lost everything, okay? And put her to bed and fully expect her to go to sleep. I was watching black and white TV, rabbit ears, watching WWF wrestling with Hulk Hogan.
Okay, yeah.
And I could hear her chatting in her room. And she was 3. You know, I mean, she's in there playing in my mind. Well, this went on for a while, and pretty soon I thought, she's got to go to sleep. So I got up in the chair and I kind of walked down the hallway, a little narrow hallway, and peeked in the room, and there she was. She was just sitting on the edge of her bed. And I said, "Honey," I said, "it's time to go to sleep." And she pretty much just laid down, and I walked away, and I thought that was odd, because she wasn't playing with anything. She was just sitting there on the edge of her bed. And I walked back in there, and I said, "Honey, who are you talking to?" And with the most matter-of-fact voice, she pointed at the closet, and she just said, "Mommy."
Oh, wow.
And it was from that point that I thought, what is this? I was upset. I didn't know how to react.
Right.
At that moment to her response. I wanted to see what she was seeing, obviously, and couldn't. And I thought, well, what is this? What is this all about? And I started kind of researching a little bit what was available back in 1982, which wasn't much, about the paranormal. And I began to find people that were interested in what I was doing. I got some things going on in my house, blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of selfish in those investigations because I really wasn't investigating their house. I was still searching to see what my daughter had seen.
Right.
Well, that selfishness turned into something different. I started beginning to see I was helping people. And that started going away. And so for the next 30 years, that's what I did. I just investigated. I didn't have the things that your generation do. We didn't have iPads and computers. We didn't have the internet. We had an occasional magazine article that we could find at some library, or some book that had some pictures. That famous photo of that girl sitting on the grave marker in the cemetery.
Yep.
That's the kind of books that we used to look at and try to read. And literally stumbling around in the dark, not knowing what to say or do or how to conduct an investigation. You can flip on the TV set now and you can get a generic idea of how to investigate someplace.
Paranormal's everywhere now.
Everywhere. But back in the day, we really didn't know. And that's what was so great about it back then versus now. Now everybody has to be better than somebody else. And back in those times, we all kind of worked together. Even if you were from another town or someplace, we were the people that were quiet in the back of the library, whispering to each other, trying to figure out what paranormal was. And we were really trying to help each other out. But now it's kind of went down its own path.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's kind of how I got going in this.
Did you ever get any answers?
No.
So you have a Native American background,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
How does that affect your take or approach on paranormal? Does it, or?
I don't believe it does. Not really. I think that it gives me more of a sense of respecting those that have passed on. Going back to the earth. but as far as giving me any intuitions or anything, I don't think so. I do believe that there are certain things out there, where you want to call them spirit animals or spirit gods, whatever, that kind of whisper in your ear sometimes. We all have it, kind of that sense of a second thought. Should I turn right? Should I turn left?
Right.
Should I do the right thing? Should I do the wrong thing? You get little whispers. I believe we all kind of have that sense. That's what I have. I do know after I investigated this place, I was more aware of other places like it. But as far as my Native American roots, no, I don't think it plays really into what I do.
So speaking of your book, let's get to your book. As we mentioned, Alan's the author of its Ghosts and Legends of the Stagecoach Inn. I understand you spent a lot of time investigating that of any other.
Well, originally, and of course it's in a book, originally I had moved up to Ida Grove to help my wife's mother. Actually, she was pretty ill, and we didn't think she was going to live for very long, and we moved up there to take care of her for whatever period of time she had left. Well, while I was there, I was bored. Of course, I wasn't paranormal investigating anymore, and I got a job, believe it or not, working a part-time job, because I thought I was going to go back to my other job at the county cemetery, of all places.
Okay.
I mowed and I trimmed around all the tombstones and stuff. Well, anyway, I was introduced to this place by my wife's cousin, her nephew, actually. And he said, "Hey, man, you got to come out to this place called Moorhead Park. So you're a big-time deer hunter. You got to come out here and check this place out." I said, "Yeah, sure." And I describe it in the book that we drove through the park, and he was telling me about where all the hot spots were, and all of a sudden here it is, tucked into this little nestle of the woods, this house. And I remember asking Andy, I said, "Does somebody live here?" And he says, "Oh, no, man." He said, that's the Stagecoach Inn. It's the old Moorhead House Museum. And as I described in the book, I remember like an old hootie owl trying to turn my head around backwards as we're driving past, because it was it just mesmerized me. I thought, wow, this is a really cool place. And that's when I made arrangements at one point to talk with the Historical Society to find out about investigating the Stagecoach Inn. And I put a whole, thing together, explaining who I was and what I'd like to do, and they granted me 3 nights to investigate. If I found something, I may be able to move forward. There was no guarantees. If I didn't find anything, of course, it would have been over. But that's kind of how it got started.
So what did you get in those first 3 nights? Or is it read the book and find out?
Well, a lot of people, a lot of folks have already heard me tell a lot of the story. I did a lot of these Facebooks, through my time investigating there. A lot of video evidence. What happened was the very last night it was dead still. There was nothing going on. I had a ghost meter. That's the only thing I really had outside of a K2 and a digital recorder. It must have been close to 2:30 in the morning. And I just commented to the camera. I looked at the camera as I'm looking at this camera right here, and I said, the house is essentially flat. There was nothing going on. Nothing was happening. No millimeters, nothing. And something tugged on the back of my coat. And I literally spun around. I had the flashlight in hand. Looking around, I thought maybe I backed into something, because just kind of a tight area that I was in. I thought maybe I backed into something. Maybe my coat snagged on. There was nothing there. When I listened to the EVP the following morning, and I got to the EVP, the point that I got to was, is there someone in the room with me? You hear a very clear giggle of this little girl saying, yeah, it was me.
Oh, I love it.
And then the adventure begins. And when I talk to people anymore, Chris Sutton, when he reviewed the book, he said, Alan, he said, this is a book that every investigator should read. Everything you could do wrong as an investigator is in this book. There were a lot of mistakes that were made. There was a lot of signs that I should have seen.
For example?
I'll read.
You'll read? Okay.
There were some things that happened that I should have really stepped back and looked at. And I didn't. I ignored it. And that caused a lot of pain for a lot of people. And read this book, and you will probably see things going on in your own life that you can now step back. I wish I had this book.
You're making me want to go read it right now.
Before I investigated, I wish I had this book. In fact, I can honestly say I wish I never had the opportunity to write this book. It never should have been written because I did it all wrong. If I would have done things right, this book never would have been written.
You're writing another book, right? Possibly?
Possibly.
Possibly?
Yeah.
So now, I know anybody who is here today can purchase a copy from you. What about viewers at home that say, I want a copy of that book?
Yeah. Well, I had a PayPal account set up, and for some reason that thing went awry. But if you want to get a copy, they can always personal message me. You can go to the Dark River Paranormal Facebook page or my Alan Cornelison Sr. Facebook page and just slip me a message, hey, I'd like to get a book, and we'll make some arrangements. Whether you're sending me a check, I have another payment method that I can use if people want a book. The only way you can get a signed copy is through me. You can get them on Amazon. You can get it also on Kindle. But the only way to get a signed copy is...
You want the signed copy. That's what I have.
Just come down here right now, and I'll give you a book. Bill's back here. He's nodding his head. He looks like a bobblehead back there, don't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
So come on down today. We're going to be here till 7 o'clock. Alan will be autographing copies for you. So, would you mind leaving us by reading an excerpt from the book?
I can attempt to.
Attempt
Okay,
it?
I can attempt
Hey,
to.
we'll take it.
It's, reading your own things. I told you earlier I came back after those initial 3 investigations. And
How long did you... How long did it take you to do all the investigating to put that book together, if you don't mind me asking?
well, there's another story behind that story. As one of these, like you're doing right now, doing a Facebook live stream, I was just talking on Facebook one evening about the Stagecoach Inn, and a gentleman by the name of Daniel Class happened to pop in, who owns
Hinsdale House, yes.
Okay, I've known Daniel for a little while. Weren't real good, weren't close friends, but I knew of him. And he said, hey, Alan, he said, you need to write a book about that place. And so I said, I have no idea how to write a book. He said, don't worry, we got ghostwriters. All you got to do is tell the story, and they'll write it for you. I'll hook you up with my editor, my publisher. I said, okay, got you on priority call. So I call Eric Bergman, who is my publisher, and we talk for about 45 minutes, and he stops me dead in sentence, and he says, Alan, he says, I can't write this book. And my heart dropped. He said, I thought, it's a terrible story. And he says, it has nothing to do with it. He says, the way that you are explaining this book and the passion in which you're presenting it to me, he says, we can't write it with that same enthusiasm. You need to write this book. I need 54,000 words. I wrote 58,000 words and did it in less than 3 weeks.
Wow.
I mean, it was just that fresh in my mind. As you read this book, what I've been told anyway, it's as if you were on this investigation. You were like in my pocket the whole time all this stuff goes on. I was very vivid in every word that I used to describe what I went through for 7 years.
7 years. That's a long time at one location.
Too long. Too long. I'll never go back. People ask me all the time how I go back. I said, yeah, I go back about 30 seconds of every day. It's affected me that much. I'll never go back. and nobody should go there and investigate, ever. It's a place you can go and visit, learn the history, but do not poke that proverbial paranormal stick into that beehive, because
Let those
this
sleeping
place,
dogs lie.
it'll bite you. It'll bite you.
Let's do it. I'm excited to hear it.
We'll give it a go. So this is during my second visit to the Historical Society.
Okay.
I'll start here. It says, "Do you think there's ghosts there?" A voice stated from the group. "Again, I can't give you a clear explanation. I can only give you what I've documented," I replied. What happened was I caught some evidence and I was presenting it to them.
Okay.
So, "Let's see that again," someone asked. So I hit the play button a second time. Now members of the group gathered nearby to better see and more clearly hear what I had documented. Some were captivated, while others were wide-eyed, holding their hands over their mouth and swiveling their heads from side to side in disbelief. I think I played the clip 20 times, as more of the members wanted to be close enough to witness the event. The room filled with chatter. Then soon Steve brought the room to order. Steve is the president of the Historical Society.
Okay.
So after seeing this very captivating evidence, Steve said, "It's time to make a motion to allow or deny Alan to move forward with his research." At that moment, an old gritty voice said, "I am absolutely against it." The person that spoke was never a fan of me in the first place and investigating the inn. Her name was Connolly, and she was one of the older members and very outspoken members of the Historical Society. I lost my place. The tone of her voice instantly grabbed my attention as she stated, "Why would we want to conjure up anything out there all over again?"
I don't know about you, but that makes me want to read that book. And again, you can stop on down here at the Rock Island YMCA, Dan Viner Furniture, at 520th Street, Rock Island, Illinois, until 7 p.m. and pick up a copy. Or you can contact Alan directly, and we will list his information on our Facebook page. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back shortly.